Nongshim are looking like they will have that critical mass. Bot lane, though, Sivir, not a good matchup into Kalista.
Sivir Nico, the choice here. So it's very difficult to ban out all the AD carries. There are so many choices. But yeah, you mentioned the matchup. So that'll be something they have to get through. Now, what are we picking into Gwen? Clear. What's it going to be?
I mean, there's still picks like Renekton, Zehen available, or the top Nidalee. This is really an early game of bust composition for BNK FearX. They need that momentum. I think if they're even and it gets later, they're not actually in a good spot.
Yeah.
Don't get baited into the all-ins. Especially level 3 is where there's mega danger.
Of course, they did see Sponge in their own jungle, so they knew he was down there. Makes a potential dive in top lane a thing. Speaking of that,
yeah,
doesn't really have a health bar. Double buff here for Raptor. And level 3 is going to be hit by Kingen, but I think they just run at the Gwen. And there it is, first blood. Going to go straight over to Clear's Nidalee.
Yeah, really good flash there, just to get out of the turret range from Raptor. And also he stacked up the passive. So even though it's been a good early lane for Diablo the Hands, it's still scary, still a precarious match to be in.
Raptor says, these are my Raptors. And he does get them. Sponge taking a lot of damage, but also stunned down onto Raptor, who is going to get rooted here by the Rise. Scout wants the kill as there's the bailout, but he will not be getting a takedown. So a kill goes over to Scout early on here.
Yeah, good play there. Scout gets the root, and Lahen's is the Blooming Burst. I think it's called. Oh, we'll see the replay in the bottom left. How the flash got burned. The flash just caught Diablo off guard. Have this.
We got a dead Vikla here in mid. He has flash, but yeah, just running around behind him and catching him. And try to use it in an all-in if possible. Otherwise, you're just dying. Speaking of which, get your ult and use it in an all-in is happening right now as Clear is being run down here, but just runs under the turret, takes turret aggro, knows there's a Rise behind him, and is doing a lot to Kingen actually. Gets that last grasp stack. I think eventually he will die to the Rise. He's actually doing a good job of kind of making this interesting. Can even try to threaten an Executor or try to run away, but the root comes in and he doesn't have another jump. Oh, there's the heal. Okay. Keeping this interesting for a long period of time. He's dodging everything. There's another one. If he gets another heal.
Okay.
No, it's not going to happen. Scout presses his ability. That can't miss.
And I think it makes sense that Nongshim aren't in a rush to start it up. Uh-oh.
Standing on a ward is Lahen's. There's the handshake. It's pulled through the rocks and the flashing Gage Renata. And Kellen picks up the kill. Honestly deserved.
And as he got hit by the seismic shove, so didn't really gain any value. And I'll picture
Kingen flashed in the top lane.
But I'm putting a lot of pressure on now is Kingen. And this top lane matchup is feeling less convincing.
Especially because Clear is low on mana.
Oh,
man, he jumps in directly into the Gwen. Now he gets flashed on, and that is just disrespect. Kingen sits him down.
What's about this game? We're kind of conditional on like Nidalee winning, and despite that, there was still a lot of hope for Nongshim. But it feels like I'm putting a lot of weight on this one moment, but to die to the Gwen here is just so disastrous. Really well played by Kingen, and yeah, he did get him. A very formidable champion to deal with, and I don't think BNK FearX have the tools. Oh no.
Everybody is trying to dive into Clear right now. The knockup comes in into the roots, and yeah, there's just too many people. Now the wall comes in, and that's why we see Talia into Rise. For the response wall after your side laner already dies. So at least, you know, Taeyoon is down there. Vikla stays in the top lane and is doing a lot of damage to Sponge at least, who is getting quite low, and he does actually get the kill, so Vikla gets away with it. A bit of a skirmish, little scrum over the blue buff, and okay, looks like Raptor will get away. Yeah, I think it was kind of close. It was a very thin margin to go for.
They are looking at the Herald, though. This is a bit more worrisome if they get it. A bit more meaningful.
Yeah, BFX setting up here. We do have the Realm Warp behind them. Scout on the flank. Again, he just has a Rod of Ages at the moment. The engage comes in onto Sponge, and he does get the one Cyclone as Lehens tries to get the knockup. By the way, the 1v1 is won by Kingen in the top lane, and now it's pretty close here. Taeyoon just hopping around. They don't have a good answer as the bailout is there as well. Nongshim, I don't think they should have gone for this fight, and they found out why as Kellen picks up the kill, and BFX get quite a lot off of the back of that.
A play that followed
목숨 바쳐 그냥 못 가겠다 그냥.
a good decision from Nongshim not to take the dragon goes into a poor decision to contest the Herald.
Yeah, I don't know what Claire said, but it's definitely frustrated by a situation. That's all I can really say. Sponge in a rough spot here. He's trying to just flash out of this one, but the flash on in from Raptor is going to be his demise. And Claire at least will pick up a second kill. It's good for now when they're this far ahead. Scout is going to get away with his Realm Warp, but that is the turret down, so that's all the outer turrets, plus the mid-tier 2. Kellen is, he's got, you know, the Callista, and there you go. He throws himself back in, and he's actually totally fine, and now Diablo is totally baited. It looks silly, but with the Callista right there, he knew the range of it. As now Taeyoon is just frontlining. He's just going in there with the rend. He's not going to get the bailout, funnily enough. Maybe on CD there, as now we're just going super deep for this one. Clear, looking for the kill on a Sponge. He says, I am useful. And he will live with the help of Kellen, who makes it all possible. That's 5 kills for BNK. So we're following Taeyoon.
나 백칼.
He's saying McHale's.
So much damage there. Just execute the hands.
야 라이즈 잡았어.
Said we got Rise. He didn't. They were running straight into a Renata with the Nico that didn't have flash, right? So it felt very forced once again. This time he's got flash though, as they are looking for that backline, and you see that full health on Taeyoon. As finally he is going to go to the bailout. They take him down, but the rest of the team is there. As you see Raptors just frontlining, and they're just too far ahead at this point. Yeah, you got the Callista, but they're so far ahead as a team now. There's nothing you can do. As BFX, they are just chasing him down. Clear going to stick around and make sure Scout doesn't get the back, while the rest of the team looks for the Baron.
Oh, hits.
Yep. He's, okay, that didn't quite reach. How did that, what? He hit the spear right. He gets the extension on the, he's no slouch. He's not Ryan.
Flank. Hasn't been spotted.
Okay, they're just sending it in. We do have the Realm Warp provision, I suppose, as he's just going to flash on a Vikla and try to actualize him, and they get Taeyoon on the right side. A lot of damage going into him, and they finally take down the Callista, but Diablo falls as well. And that might just be too much here, as BFX, they clean up the fight, and they might have just booked their ticket to the next stage of play-ins.
That's game. Nongshim try the flank, try to find the approach to shut down Taeyoon, and yes, he goes down, but the rest of the team stands strong. Scout does not get the value, and BFX will face down Hanjin Brion for the last spot in playoffs. Nongshim, this is the end of their season, the end of their year.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to have them go down like this, but BFX were absolutely the better team on the day. You cannot take that away from them, as Vikla is ecstatic, and it will be